Let's talk about Kamala Harris's astrology chart. Because who said what? Who said what? First of all, she's finishing her Saturn return. She's like pretty much done with it at this point. She's learned the hard lessons she's needed to. She's racked up karma points with the work that she's been doing. And Saturn just passed over her MC, which is her public image and career. So she's been really working through the hard issues and like the hard lesson that Saturn can bring through for a person. And now it's moving through her house of hierarchy. So if she actually has her stuff in order, she's doing everything she needs to do, congratulations. Are due. Hello. The other thing I want to talk about this chart is crazy. She has a Uranus, Pluto, Venus basically conjunction in her 4th house in Virgo. I don't know if you know how absolutely insane that is, but let's talk about it. Uranus is the rebel planet. It's like what we think about if you were to break out of a system, do things differently. We don't normally think about our political systems as being Uranus involved because Uranus is it's problem solved. We're going light years in the future and we're doing things way differently than the systems and structures that are here now. To have that be right next to Pluto, the planet of death, destruction, and riches, anything new that she does, she ushers in death and rebirth. And she doesn't even have to do it directly. Virgo is the sign of indirect communication. Having Pluto in Virgo, girl, you better read the fine print. And I'm talking to her, but also that's a pretty sneaky placement. That's a placement that says, I didn't have to say it, but we're contracted now. We're under contract. You can't retract from that, and I will gain the riches that I so desire. Sneaky. The other part of this, Venus, means that by her doing those different things, going through those death and rebirths, having those contractual agreements, and gaining the riches that she so asked for, she's able to give and receive. That's like her process of giving and receiving. First of all, what an intense placement of giving and receiving. Like for normal life, she has to be just like the craziest, most wild out there person. The thing about these placements is that they're in the 4th house. Now, why is this important? The 4th house represents your home structure, being at home, in your house, in the home. Who's in the home? What's going on in the home? How are you nurturing the home? What's the order and structure of the house look like? Where does the president live? The president lives in the White House. Follow me. The president lives in the White House. So by her, say that she was to get elected, she moves into the White House, and now all of a sudden, she's ushering in this huge political change. That election actually goes through and she, gets what's due to her with the work that she's been doing with that Saturn return that's basically done right now. There's a lot of change that we're going to see come through. That is going to be crazy. And elections are right after eclipse season this year. Who orchestrated this? Where is this coming from? And Mars is in her 3rd house in Leo. So of course she's having victory right now. It's Leo season. We're about to see, pay attention to what happens to her political exchanges or like campaign exchanges come Virgo season. Because Virgo season's really going to show us what is her preparation for this? What is she preparing us for within her policy, within her change, within her rearrange? So look for Virgo season for that. And then we go through eclipse season. And her sun is in Libra, which is where the South Node is right now. For those of you who don't know, the South Node is what is done on the earth. It's what's really easy for us. And it's in her house of joy. So like her just being joyful, she has victory. And the spirit justice with a capital J, you see what's happening? The other thing that I want to mention is that the South Node is moving into Virgo next year. Hip, hip, skip, hooray. She gets her way. She wins this election. We're about to see a new direction for this nation. Don't know what it's going to be. Have absolutely no clue because Pluto is really about secrecy and so is Virgo. They're both very secret. So the fact that she has Pluto in Virgo and in the 4th house, which is literally in like the most private part of the chart, that is crazy. And Saturn, the Saturn return she was going through, her Saturn is retrograde. Okay, so she's going forward during the elections because Saturn retrograde in the sky. And we don't need to get super into it, okay? But she's reaping the rewards and moving forward at the same time. Beautiful. Love that for us. I love that for her. True. And then Neptune and Saturn move into Aries next year when the South... Everything's clear for her chart. Everything is clear for her chart. The only thing that I could see that might be a little bit like, ooh, maybe that's sketchy, but maybe not, is that she has her dark moon in Capricorn in the 7th house. With that Saturn return that just happened, there may be some shakeups, breakups, rearranges, just some stuff going on in her personal life that we're not really able to see. It really just depends. Keep making trends, That's true. And the other thing that this isn't a negative, but a good thing, she just had her Jupiter return. So she had time to really learn about what the process of expansion, because Jupiter has to do with fame and like your name and fame, among other things, okay, but applicable to the campaign portion of this. And it being in the 12th house means that there is sacrifice needed. So she has like learned the lessons and she's starting something new. So she's headed in a new direction with that already. The hard stuff's kind of over. There may be some sacrifices that come from that. And the 12th house is also a little bit schemy. We can't always see exactly what it's going to be. So she may not know exactly the price that is coming for her or that she needs to offer, or maybe she already has offered it. I don't know, because again, the 12th house is kind of blinding. But there is a price of some kind for her expansion within her name of fame. But then Jupiter is going to cross over her ascendant and usher in a whole new era for her. So it is. That's the update. Keep doing what you need to do. Keep up your brew. Continue to love you. And I'll talk to you true soon.